Hi, welcome to Driving TV, and I hope you are well. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about the steering. One of the most important thing when you are driving is your steering. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about the setup of the steering for you to feel comfortable, so that when you are driving, you feel comfortable. So how to set the steering for you to be comfortable, be prepared for you to drive. Because steering is one of the most important thing when you are driving. So first of all, the setup. Secondly, we're going to talk about how to steer. What's the best way for you to steer and where you should hold the steering. The best position for you to hold, also how to steer. What is the technique of steering when you're going around corners? Like I said, steering is one of the most important thing when you're driving. You need to feel comfortable. You need to be prepared. Also, the setup should be done properly. And when you are driving, for you to go left and right, for you to keep the kind of straight line, you need to know where to hold and how to steer. So this is what we are going to talk about in this video. There's going to be part 2. So this lesson is going to be in 2 different parts. First part, which is this one, we talk about the setup, where to hold and how to steer. And second part, I'm going to show you, I'm going to drive and I'm going to show you, hopefully you're going to see how I'm steering, how to do the steering when I'm going around the corners, so that you understand fully how to do the steering in practice. So that will be part 2. So look out for part 2. This is part 1. So let's start the lesson. Okay, so the part 1 is the setup of your steering. Okay, you need to feel comfortable. Now, first of all, make sure when you hold the steering, you want to feel comfortable. You want to feel the steering. So you don't want to be too near, you don't want to be too far. So when you hold the wheel, make sure you have this bend. Okay, you need to have that bend. If it's too straight, then you won't be able to you need to move your body to do the steering. Every time you steer, you have to go forward. When you are doing the steering, your body shouldn't move, only your hand. Remember, steering, you need your hand. So when you steer, only this part of your body should move, which is your hand, not your body. Okay, so you want to sit and you don't want to move your body, you want to move your hand, and it goes round, all the way around, without moving your body. So that's the first thing. Okay, you want to feel it, go on the bottom of the steering, on the top, and you don't want to be too close, and you don't need your body to go forward to go on top. Okay, because if you're too far, then you'll have to do that on your steering. Okay, so the first part is to feel the steering, and that you don't need to move your body to do the steering, going around all the way. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, we talked about you don't want to be too far or too near. One other thing about the steering is that if you do have in your car, the steering goes up and down, and it does come forward and backwards. For example, here it goes up, it goes down. Okay, so if you have that in your car, make sure you could adjust that as well. Also, as you can see, okay, it goes up, sorry, it comes out and it goes in. So where you feel comfortable, you want to make sure that you adjust in a way. You want to adjust in a way so that it's about here for me, and then I lock it so that I could see the dashboard. I could see my speed. I could see you want to see the screen of your dashboard, so you know the speed that you're driving, how much rev you're giving, and everything else on your dashboard you need to see. So you need to have that space, that gap, where you could see the dashboard, everything on your dashboard. Okay, so like I said, adjust in a way so that you could see this part. And like I said, it does come in my car. If that happens in your car, make sure you adjust that as well. Okay, so about for me, around here, and then I lock it. Make sure if you do that, make sure you lock it back. And again, many learners, after they do that, they forget to do that, the locking part, and then they're driving is moving. So make sure you lock it after you've done it. Okay, and then like I said, feel the steering, and then holding. Where is the best place to hold the steering? It's been advised for you to hold 1/4 to 3, which is 3 and 9. So around here, it's been advised for you to hold 1/4 to 3, which is 3 and 9. Now the other thing is, when you are holding the steering and you need to do the signal, if it's here or there, whichever way, try to use your fingers, not your hand. So you want to have maximum time both hands on the wheel. The only time you're going to take the hands off is when you're changing gear or you want to put the fan on or something. Other than that, both hands should be on the wheel maximum time so that you have the control of your car. Okay, so try not to take your hands off on your signaling. Okay, if you need to signal, have your hands on the wheel and just use the fingers. Off, up for right, off, down for left, off. Okay, so try to have both hands on the wheel most time. The other thing is, if you want to wave at someone, you want to thank someone, don't let your hands go from the wheel. Try to wave maybe like that. Just say thank you. Okay, with this one, if you say thank you, this is a distraction. This wall or this bar is not allowing others to see when you're saying thank you. So maybe with this hand, take this hand on the top and say like that, thank you. So take it on the top like that and say thank you. Don't take your hands off and say thank you, because most of the time, like I said, maximum time, you should have both hands on the wheel when you're driving. Okay? Because many learners, they do ask, can we thank someone, can we say thank you if others lets me go? Yes, you can, but don't let your hands go. Have control of your wheel by just waving like that, having hands on your wheel, so you get control of your car. You're not going to lose control. What gives you better control, one hand or two hand? Obviously two hand. So you need to have both hands on the wheel most of the time when you're driving. Especially imagine you are about to stop somewhere and you only have one hand on the wheel, and somebody comes at the back and hits your car, and you only have one hand on the wheel. What's going to happen? It's better to have both hands. You could control the car, which way the car goes, than if you only had one hand. Okay, so we know that it's common sense. For you to control, you need both hands on the wheel most of the time. Okay, now let's talk about how to steer, the best technique of steering, going left and going right. Okay, so for you to steer, this is your hand, you're holding the wheel. What we normally call it, you need to feed. Pull and push technique on your steering is the best way to steer. So that crossing hand is not the best way to steer, because if you cross your hand, that's how much you could go. And if you need more, then you're stuck. Same this way. If you do crossing hands like that and you don't know the technique of feeding, meaning pull and push, then if you have that technique, then that's how much is going to go, because your hand is not going to go anymore. And if you need to do more, then you're stuck. And then the car's not going to go where do you want to take the car. So the technique is feeding, meaning you take it with one and you take it with the other. You feed it. You feed it. Okay? Same with the other way. You feed it. Okay, now what we call it is, it's called pull and push technique, or you feed. Okay, the secret is your left hand should only stay on the left hand side and your right hand should only stay on the right hand side. Meaning, imagine this is a clock. Okay, so imagine this is a clock. If this was a clock, this would be 12 o'clock, this would be 6 o'clock, right? 12 and 6. Left hand could only go to 12 and 6, right hand 12 and 6. So this is your territory for each hand. That's how much. So if you know this technique, remember 12 o'clock is the maximum, 6 o'clock is the maximum for both hands. If you want, so say you're holding here and you want to go right, what's the best thing to do? Loosen up, take it there, up, there, there. If you want to go the other way, there and there and there and there. Okay, so what you're doing is, the way you want to steer, you take it to 12 o'clock, and from 12 o'clock, because you can't go anymore, you need to rescue with the other hand. Okay, now when I did that, I took the hands off. Try not to take the hands off. So you just loosen up and you do that. Can you see that? So one goes up, one goes down, or one goes down, one goes up. So I want to go right. So right has goes down and the left one goes to the other place, because that's where you need to go. And can you see that? Okay, so the hand goes over there and the other hand follows as well. The way you want to go, that's the way you steer. So I'm steering right. With the right hand, I'm taking it down, but the left hand needs to go there so that I can rescue. So that goes down and the other hand goes down as well. Okay. Can you see? Can you see? Okay, so it's called pull and push technique. You feed, you do the feeding, you feed it. Okay, you just feed it, you feed. Okay, just one more time. So this is I'm holding. If I need to go left, okay, I need to hold the left hand and I take it with the left hand down, but the right hand also goes down there. So from there I hold it with the right hand and the left hand goes up, and then left hand goes down and the right hand just, can you see it? Okay, so I do have another video on this to practice at home with plates or something around circle similar to the steering. You could practice at home. I do have another video on that. I'll leave a link on the description for you to have a look. Have a look at that video as well for you to practice at home. That way, if you got a problem with your steering, many learners, they do find in the beginning steering is a problem for them. So for you to save time in your driving lesson, if I were you, what I would do is I would practice at home, maybe with a round plate or something circle similar to steering, and practice it at home. So I hope you understand regards to steering. Remember, steering is one of the most important thing when you are driving, and for you to feel comfortable, you need to know exactly how to do the setup of the steering, how to prepare the steering, where to hold the steering, and how to steer, meaning the pull and push technique you feed with both hands. So that's the part 1. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Look out for part 2 where I'm going to drive and I'm going to show you how I'm steering going around the corners, and you will see exactly how I'm doing the technique of feeding, the pull and push technique when I'm going left and right. You will see more in practice on part 2. So I hope you've enjoyed the part 1. And if you need help on learning to drive and to pass the driving test, don't forget to take the advantage of our online course, which gives everything a learner needs to learn to drive and to pass the driving test. It has everything a learner needs. It has more than 30 videos on the course. I will leave a link on the description for you to have a look. Have a look and see and read. And if you like it, you could always join the course. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give a thumbs up. Please do make a comment what you think of the video. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe so don't miss any of my future videos. And hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.